The lady in the pink. Lady in pink. No, that's you're close to the song. Lady is trying to link very, very strongly with you at the moment, okay? As I see the lady, she's around the 5'1", okay? She had quite short hair at the end of her life, okay? And I am aware that there's a breathing problem, but you know it's not what the problem is that takes me to spirit. Okay? Do you know what I'm saying there? It's quite hard because it's making me aware that it's hard to breathe, but that isn't what's wrong with me. I am also aware that I am needing, like, I don't know whether it's drips or something, but there are things connected to me. You understand? Yeah. Alright. The lady, as I'm seeing the lady, I would actually put her into her 70s, like maybe late 70s. Okay, as I'm seeing her. Alright. As she comes around you, you know, like she's got this feeling of, you know, it's as if people keep saying to you, you don't know until you try, you don't know till you try. Okay? And you know, it's very much as if you took the plunge and feel that you have got every reason to throw it back at everybody now. Okay? What I'm saying there is, it's as if like you said, okay, I'll do what you want, you know, if this seems the right thing, so you went somebody else's way, and it wasn't for you. Okay? So there is very much this thing now that's put you back into this state of where you were before. You know, it's this. It needs to be on my terms, and I don't mean that in a selfish thing, okay? But you're not very good at coming out of that comfort zone at all, all right? And I know as she's linking here, like she's actually saying you are passing up too many opportunities. Okay? It's as if things are offered to you on a plate. People want you to do jobs, want you to do tasks, but you don't think that you were capable of yourself. Can you understand that? I know it's not because I'm fighting against the Welsh link, you know, like there is this thing where it's she's very, very much saying that you've got to give yourself more credit for being able to do things than you do. Alright? Because you just like I'm not worthy. That's very much your attitude. And it's what I call the spiritual bum kicking. She's actually saying that you are more than worthy. You're capable of doing these things. So why don't you give it that go again? Okay? Right. Just the male energy, you know, like he's really putting upon me what's wrong before I've actually seen him. And I've got a stomach problem or something low down. Okay? And I know there was an awful amount of pain that's coming with this, right? I know he's a joker, so I know I can say this, because you know how bad, when we get flu, how terrible it is for us men, right? So I know it must be bad for him to say it was worse than that. But he is bringing the feeling of the pain to the fore for me here, like, you know, it's this thing about, you know, in some ways, I was so glad to get it over and done with, right? Can you understand that he had a reason to stay here, though? I mean, we all have reasons to stay, I mean, but you know, it's as if there was an event or something I needed to stay for, all right? And he said it, and it was worth the effort, okay? It was worth the effort. There is something to do with, there's a ring with a stone. Well, when I say that, I don't know if it's like one of these onyx things or something, but there's a ring with a flat face on it that he's referring to. Actually, yeah, it's a black. I do think it's like one of these onyx rings with two lines in it. That's what he's actually showing me. Right, so, I mean, it's this thing about not spending too much time like on the readings, unfortunately. But I know I'm actually asking him why, but it's as if like it was something that was bought for him. Alright. Can you understand with the man that there is this thing about, he's on about breaking the mould, you know, because like it was on about where his own family was concerned, or his own father, you know, like he wanted to be so different. Right? Because I know this man's got a very, very, I'm going to say it's a gentle way about him, okay? But I know it comes from a hardship. That's the way it makes me feel, alright? I know this man, he wants to link to many of you, I know he does, but it's as if like there's a little group of 5, and I don't mean like at that table, because I know the 2 on the end are very strange, but you know, it's as if there's a group of 5 that I need to pass on the love to, okay? Have you got memory links, by the way? Yeah, you understand that then, yeah? I'm glad you've got somebody who can count on your table, you see, you tell me. But there's, have you got memories of, I suppose we've all got these memories of old televisions with the buttons on the top, like the big buttons on the top, right? But I actually want one where the buttons were on the front lower of the TV, right? And it's just like memory links, so he's like pressing the buttons on the front lower of the TV, right? And I also think that there's something to do with the radio. I know it's back again now, that's the way we listen to radio. But it's as if I could have the radio on the TV too. Right? And I know he's just bringing that as a link, and he said that he didn't know how people would have survived then. That's I do quite often hear that. I don't know how people would have survived then when we only had like telly for a few hours, right? There is somebody around you, the reason he's doing this, there is somebody around you, not unhealthily doing too much, right, but there is somebody who is sat around watching too much instead of doing enough, right, and it is just this thing about being more active, okay? And does Rose link, by the way, the name of Rose? It does mean something, because like, I know, like I've just been asked, I know it's not roses, I haven't got to give you a bunch of roses, I haven't bought any with me in any case, but it's not symbolic in the sense that I know it's the name that I've been asked to bring forward, okay? And quite hard when I know I've got 2 people also sat at the table that will link this, but I do need to go a bit further south, but keeping to the east as well, with the family, okay? So there is like links down into London or Kent area as well. Does that make sense? I know I've got links like to.
It's a bit further south.
I do keep getting funny things to say about that, but I'm not going to. I mean, that was the thing I was leaving with in any case, but there is this feeling of like the link that was further south, right? And like I say, if I get a chance to chat earlier on, I'm going to move on because I've got so many to move. I'm going to come to you.